Like, hey, yeah, we're just starting whatever. Like literally, you and I were talking about this today. Like when you're filming everything everywhere, too much, you know,
it's cut out.
Yeah,
it's
like
cut up.
Yeah,
it takes away from the realness of it.
Yeah, like to me, the conversations that I have with you just hanging around are way more interesting than if hi, I'm here with Robin Black here with Kevin Lee, the Motec. So Kevin, how's things in Detroit?
Yeah,
it's fucking weird,
yeah,
right?
it is.
Why does it still happen?
I don't know. I guess that's just, it's the way that people have been doing it.
Yeah.
So people just kind of stuck to that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad now, like, there's so much information and like so many different ways of doing stuff. Like, and what people like, what's taken off now is stuff like this.
Yeah.
Because this is what really people want to see. Nobody wants to see you, stand there and, talk. And, I've done so many of those. and the person is like a robot. And then as soon as they turn the camera off, he becomes back like a normal dude. And he's like, bro, like,
and that's the shit I want to see. That's what that guy, if he's an interesting guy, I want to see him talk to this guy, how they're talking.
Yeah. But as soon as the camera comes on, then he goes, all right, back to you.
It's so
too
weird.
Much.
It's fucking weird. I was a guest at a show up in Canada. I don't want to say who because I really like them. And we had 3 minutes on the air, and we had about 25 minutes before and about 5 minutes after. And the least interesting minutes were the 3 we were on there. For real, I was sitting there like, this guy's fucking hilarious. We're chatting about his kids. Like, we're having regular conversations. And then the thing was on, and we talked. So George St. Pierre will be back at, you know what I mean? Did you see? You watch George fight?
Oh, of course. I was in the building for that one. I had to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. What I said was, George, he had texted me a night before my fight, and he told me, to keep my mind sharp and and that's what makes a difference at the championship level. And I really didn't understand what that really meant until I even saw his fight.
Yeah.
And I mean,
freakishly focused.
I mean, it's crazy. Even in the second round, where you can kind of see him going through that adversity. Hadn't been in there a while, hadn't been tired like that. Like people don't understand. Like when you get tired, like it's hard.
And it's scary.
It's scary, and it's hard to push through that next level.
But experience tells you that you can once you have in your life, and he has.
Exactly.
Right? And you sort of watched him revisit that experience, and then in the third, and I spoke to him a little bit about this, but I know it's true. I know by seeing, he's on Bisping, and Mike's fucking slicing him up, and he gets up and he goes like this, and he's got blood in his eyes.
Yeah.
And you know George now.
Oh yeah.
This is how he's thinking. Yeah. If this round ends, there's a decent chance that
lost
doctor
the round.
is. I'm going to lose the fight. Dr. Shine.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck is up here. Could be 37 giant cuts. All I know is there's blood everywhere. And if I go back to this corner after this round, there's a decent chance I lose the fight. Doctor stops it. I have to open up.
I think Dominic Cruz said the same thing when he fought Cody, and he talked about the same thing. He as soon as he saw the blood, it changed his way of fighting. It kind of changed his approach, because now you do got to take those risks. Now you do got to go out there and you got to really try and make a statement, because you don't know. Some judges, they look at that and they say, oh, he lost a round just because he's bleeding. And especially with a guy like George, where George does look more beat up than the next guy next to him. Like you see every one of his fights. Yeah. He always, he don't carry the bruises too good or something.
Yeah.
So
something about his skin or the bones or what's between his skin and his skull, who knows?
But again, that's that experience. He's dealt with that before. He's dealt with like being lumped up in a fight, and he still knows how to come back and win. Whereas you look at somebody like Dom, who hasn't dealt with that before, it changed his fighting approach, and
then he wasn't him.
It wasn't the same fight.
Yeah.
But somebody like George, he had that experience. That's what the game is about.
Do you remember the first time that you're in a fight and blood is in your eye or on your face or you taste it? Do you remember the moment?
Oh yeah. I had fought a kid up in Indiana. I still don't have the video of the fight. It was a great fight. I was 4-0. The kid was 4-0. We were in Indianapolis. It was his hometown. I don't know if you ever been to Indiana.
No.
Like people think like the most racism is like in the South. Like nah, it's in Indiana. Like I was in it.
Wow.
I'm telling you. We fought.
Well, you can't believe how many people use all the same word while yelling it at you.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
And we fought in this. We fought in this country bar where there was there was a cage. The cage was maybe like 10 feet wide. Like
chicken wire kind of vibe.
It's nothing. And then right next to it was a mechanical bull. We're like right there in the back.
And they're smoking in the bar.
Yeah, smoking. There's nothing like people just kind of hanging over the cage even.
Amazing.
But we got in, and man, we went to war.
Yeah.
He had like two hair. I'll see if I can pull up a picture. I'll send it to your Facebook. He, his jaw was all busted up. My eye was so cut, so bad, and my eye was swollen shut.
Did it go 3 rounds or no?
He lasted until the beginning of the third,
and then that was,
and I choked him out. Yeah.
Wicked. But you remember that moment when it gets in your eye? Like, do you remember what the experience was like? Where you're like, oh fuck, I'm cut.
I could just mostly remember my eye closing and not being able to see out of it. I could feel the blood, but I didn't know if it was my blood or his, because he was bleeding too. You know, once you're in the moment, like, you don't really know. Like it gets a little bit everywhere.
I one time exploded this kid's ear in a fight, and it shot blood all over us. And Boss Root was commentating. Yeah, shot blood everywhere. It was crazy, weird. Like, and I'm like, what happened? Like, yeah, it was fucking weird. There was so the reason I ask about that moment is like. You're a brilliant fighter. You know I love your work, and I like where and your mind and where you're at, and we know how good you are and how good you will be. But when I think of you or Francis Ngannou or like some of these guys at the same stage of it, it's like there's actually experiences you just haven't had yet. Yeah. Like you had, okay, we've been cut, okay, we've been lumped up, okay, I lost a round, whatever. But there's tons of them you are yet to have.
It is, and it's very, very hard to duplicate that. And that's kind of what I noticed even about the last fight. It's hard. It's different. Like you can say it as much as you want, and you can say that it's going to be the same fight. You know, when you're at that championship level, you can say it. Like you can tell yourself that, but until you actually do it, like it's just different. Like it's a different type of feeling. And I even after the fight. It took me about 2 weeks to kind of get over it and kind of understand what I did wrong and what I did right. And
so there is to tell yourself it's not going to be different. It's just a fight. You're lying.
Yeah.
You're not telling yourself the truth.
It's true.
The truth is this is different. Once you acknowledge that, you can explore what may be different. What will that experience be like? What do I have to deal with? By lying to yourself, you actually don't allow yourself to explore that.
It's true. I mean, and that is I always say this is one of the beauties about fighting. You can lie for as long as you want. You can lie to yourself. You can lie to the fans. You can lie to everybody. The thing you can't do once you get into the cage, you can't. It's gonna be all out on the table.
Right.
And you're right. You know, you can tell yourself it's different. I mean, you can tell yourself different. It's the same, but it's very different. That pressure, having that much.
It means something different. It means it has a different meaning, that fight.
And it's not even just mentally that it's different. My body reacted a little bit different. I was on that fight or flight mode the whole time.
Which you can do for 7 minutes or so, but you can't do for 25 minutes. Humans cannot do it.
I'll tell you, when I walked into the arena that night, I was ready to fight. 2 hours before the fight, I was ready to fight. There was no warm up. I was like already like in a sweat. And it like affected my body like adversely, I've never been as tired as
it is. But now you know.
No,
now you know.
Oh, I know.
That, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. It's like we've chatted about it before, and it's an inevitable conversation people have about how the audience cannot understand, and then half the people who talk to you cannot understand. And I fought, and I can't understand. It was tiny, small. Like at every level, we can't really understand what you're doing, but we can watch it and. I can't imagine how much people, hey, you suck and stuff after you lost that most important fight in your life to you. But they can't understand that also. How old are you?
25.
Fuck, come on. You're going to do that twice more.
Yeah.
Hopefully the next one you're ready and you go win it. Not the third one, but you could do that 3 times more. Uriah kept going back and getting like it's a long road, and the only way you learn anything is by doing the shit.
Yeah, exactly. That's where that experience comes in. I felt it a little bit in my UFC debut because you bounced up to that next level, and you can even see it. Like if you watch the walkout, I'm like a deer in headlights. I even see it like you like. Looking around, like I said, I went from fighting in that small, little country bar right next to a mechanical bull to fighting at Prudential Center where it was like 16,000 people. And I was.
And there's Bruce Buffer saying your name and shit. It says UFC right there as you're standing there.
And it's everything that you always wanted, and it's everything that you always dreamed of. And it does affect you, not just mentally, like it affects you physically too. And it's
because
the same.
Your brain is your body.
Exactly.
So your brain is you. You know what I mean? Of course you're going to feel different. It's an incredible thing. I get a little evangelical about fighting and about the way that we should view fighting and the way we should view fighters. But to me, I'm sad sometimes when people don't see how special of a moment it is when two people get in a fight. Two of the greatest professional athletes in the world in their thing. How special of a moment that is and how fucking shocking it is. And I keep trying to get across this idea to people that for anyone, maybe they took mushrooms or they took a drug or they something different, where their brain works differently. When you fight, you are physiologically different in there. You're not you here. This is not the guy fighting.
No. I mean, and you can see it. You can see it. Like you can see it on the video. Like you can see it. It's just it's different. And that's kind of one of the things that I just love about life too. You know, seeing people in their like what they do. You know what I mean? Like everybody has what they do. You see somebody. You see somebody who's like a great performer, like a great, like a hip or an artist or something like that. Like you see them like in their action, they're not the same person. Like they're different. And I think that's like one of the beauties of life. I think fighting kind of exemplifies that because it's like the most extreme of it because there's that real danger, you know. When somebody's going out and they doing a concert, there's no real danger there.
The chances of leaving in an ambulance are very
slim.
Yeah,
real slim.
Yeah, right. But
and you're gonna do it, and you get to do it again next week.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
My wife said that she came to 4 or 5 of my fights, and I think I won 3 of them and lost 1 that she was at, and I was devastated because it sucks. And when people would ask her what it was like being there, and she'd say, "I'm not worried he's gonna get hurt. I've seen him spar." This woman boxer I used to spar with, Sandy Segura. She was a Canadian champion as a woman. She beat the shit out of me every week. I got beaten up by a girl in the gym every week. I came home injured, so she wasn't worried about that. But she's a performer. She is in theater. So she's like, if our opening doesn't go well, I'll do 8 more shows that week. This guy will have that one, and if he shits the bed, that's the one. And for the rest of your life, you have that one. But this experience you just had, when you and I will chat in 2 years from now, I'll try to remember to ask you. I bet it'll be the best thing you ever went through in your whole life. This experience.
Yeah, I said that about my last fight that I lost to when I fought Leonardo, and I've said this about every fight. Every fight I can see myself losing. I really can. Like, I think
it's a reality.
I think you kind of have to. The one fight that I never saw myself losing was that Leonardo fight. Right. I just didn't see no way that the man, the man was 36.
And you'd never lost, right?
I had lost to Ally.
Yes, right.
I lost my UFC debut. Decision there, close decision. Still should have won it, but I kind of, that took me to the next level. When I fought Leonardo, I lost that one. That made me respect the game so much more, and it just changed like my mindset, and that took me to the next level. And I feel like this one's definitely going to take me way above the next level.
That's a man and person though too, I think. Like it's gonna. I saw Leonardo here. Have you seen him around?
Yeah.
Like what's that like? Yeah. For most people, never fight anybody. And then you like see, fuck that guy. I'm on his highlight reel. Look, all these other guys are on yours. That's part of it.
Yeah, I mean that's the game. That's the game that we play. But even as that was actually the first person that I've seen as I came in and checked into the hotel, and we kind of locked eyes, and I like the look in his eyes. I don't know. I think he knows. He knows. I got to get that one back. I got to get that one back. He knows. He sees it. That'll be down the line.
And you will. Yeah, you will. Man, I always love hanging with you. I really do. I really.
My man.
Yeah.
My man.
Thank you.
Hopefully you enjoy in Detroit. Hopefully you get to see a little bit around. Like I said, I just got done doing that Metro PCS signing, which was like really. I did the signing a block away from the street that I grew up on. Which was,
so cool.
I mean, it was amazing. It was amazing to do. So many people flew in from Toronto to come and to see me and take pictures and do all that stuff. So, I mean, it's been humbling. I've been enjoying Detroit so far.
Matt Perino's watching
Hopefully
this
you do.
Currently.
Hey, my dude, what's going on?
Matt Perino. Follow him on Twitter and Instagram.
Let's get something to eat.
Yeah, we'll meet up with Matt Perino. Let's go eat something.
All right.
All right, thank you. Thanks, my man.
All right.